Hey all, Grappler here. Welcome to the third installment of my video guide on how to pilot the Gladiator. This video was taken right after 3.5 was released, so there are some loading and frame rate drops throughout this video, but I wanted to use it because it is a great demonstration video for being the importance of being objective focused, and how when you are objective focused, that will get you more kills than just being focused on kills. It also has some really good demonstrations of when you do and do not want to emplace and when you want to unemplace. So then let's just dive right on into it. It looks like I am scouting out the lane and letting my team know which lane I intend to go to. In this video I actually let my team know which jump point I intend to go to, because I know that a random noob is going to come with me and he or she is a really good healer, so I want to let them know where they can go to give me the tugboats as soon as possible. Hopefully the Sentinel will go to the same jump point and we can get a boost of speed all together and get to that mid-mine a little faster. And we're off. Looks like we have a good lane split, so we have 3 in one lane, 2 in the other. I'm in the strong lane, so I'm going to push forward really hard unless I hit 4 enemies in this lane. Looks like our Sentinel did not jump with us, which is too bad, but the Super Lifter did, so I get his tugs immediately. There's an Overseer, which is a good target for me if he tries to go for that mid-mine. He's backing off, which is the right move for him. And Interceptor, so there's only 2, so they're the weak lane, so my job is going to be to push this lane as hard as I can, and then get out of here after I get all 3 mines, because these 2 guys can't stop me. And the Interceptor is doing the right thing. He's not even engaging us because he just can't. He can't fight all 3 of us, neither can the Overseer. So both these enemies are doing the right thing. They're not giving us a hard engage. They're just kind of lurking about. That Scepter will probably go for the mid-mine in a bit. So I'm going to cap this last mine and pull back, because the other lane is probably in trouble because they're the weak lane. There's 3 against 2 in that other lane. So I'm going to pull out of here as soon as I can. And yeah, the other lane's getting overwhelmed, but they held a little better than we did and didn't lose that last mine. So I'm going to go in and try and reinforce this lane in case they decide to push to the far mine. I'm letting my team know that I'm doing that because I have the most weight to throw around on the team. And it looks like they're jumping out.
Read them now. Understood.
So that Super Lifter down there, he's going to cap that mid-mine before I even get to it because he's just such a faster ship than me. But I still want to hang out. I don't want to leave. One, because my jump home is on cooldown, and the other is because my job is to be at important objectives and try and hold those objectives if possible. So, and I don't want to leave my healer alone. He just can't hold anything by himself. So there comes their Destroyer. Destroyer and Gladiator is an interesting matchup because a Destroyer, both ships are one of the few ships that can actually hurt each other. A Destroyer can destroy a Gladiator if it's maybe has a range of about 16,000 meters. You can give a Gladiator a lot of trouble, but an in-place Gladiator at about 7,000 meters can destroy a Destroyer. So they're an interesting matchup in that they are well matched against each other. It looks like 4 of them jumped into that lane, and there was 3 of us. So I jumped out. I did a quick jump out and then a long jump home, because it's okay to be afraid if you're outnumbered in a lane and you're kind of pinned at the mid-mine. It's not worth it to stay there and die. It's better to pull back. And I'm going to pull back closer to this far mine here and see if I can lure one of them in before Gamma and try and kill him, because that is better than me needlessly sacrificing my life at mid-mine. And the Interceptor was going for that far mine, so it's good I jumped back here and lay a little bit of firepower on him. But I came in just a second or 2 late, so I'm not in a great position to really get him. So he can probably use the mine to hide at this point. And he jumps out, but at least I'm able to cap this mine back so that we have mine parity when Gamma 1 rolls around, and it's just about to roll around. So I'm just going to jump right on in because I have level 3, and it's always important that I go to Gamma because the reason I'm on the team is to be a strong presence in Gamma. Okay, so I'm making my way over to Gamma. I'm going to try and get inside that cap bubble because as a heavy I already cap much faster than a regular ship, so instead of cap bubble I'm going to cap even greater than I would otherwise. The super lift is pretty banged up, but I'm not going to go run after him because I'm not a chasing ship. That's not my job. I only chase with bombers and missiles. I see there's their overseer. I'm going to try to hide from this beam because that'll mess me up pretty bad actually. And this destroyer here, this destroyer is just sitting out of cover like that because he's probably, as a destroyer, he knows that he's a really tough ship. But he's, I guess, a lot of destroyers underestimate that a Gladiator can really take him out at close range, out of cover, like I'm doing right now. And you can see I'm just wrecking him because I am placed. So this is a really good example of eating the heavy. I am placed just to get that destroyer because he was overconfident, because normally he can get away with that, but just not because I'm a Gladiator. So I look around and try to see if there's anyone else that I can get while I'm in place. That scepter's a little far, but I take a shot at it. It's not super effective, so really I should unplace and probably get out of here right now. And I do. Good. And what that's a demonstration of is that I only emplace when my firepower can actually affect someone. Right there, it was no longer affecting anyone. We're down mines, so I'm much better served getting to the next important objective. Now I was going to go for that mid-mine right off the bat, but the Sentinel's racing on ahead and he's going to get there way before I can get there. So I might as well circle back around and upgrade at this point so that I can be a stronger presence in the lane. But if I remember right, I believe that Sentinel just charges all the way ahead and gets himself wrecked, so I'm not really able to support that Sentinel. And you actually can't do much about that as a Gladiator. It's one of the tough reasons to be a heavy pilot, is that if your team just charges ahead, you can't really help them. But I'm going to slowly and steadily make my way up the lane to see if I can at least hold that mid-mine at a minimum so that we have a resource advantage in this lane. And it looks like our Sentinel's doing okay. He's a little banged up, but he's running on up ahead. And there are 3 of them, so he'll need to juke pretty good to stay alive. Oh, and he's not doing too well. So he's probably going to die, and he does die because he just dove in there all by himself. And so I'm starting to turn to go back because there's 3 of them and only 2 of us, but then I do something kind of risky here. Normally you got to be pretty conservative as a Gladiator, but the one good thing that Sentinel did is he pulled their team so far off the fob that I can actually get there even as slow as I am before the enemy team can get there. And so now I'm demonstrating that rather than trying to kill these guys, I'm just going to go to an objective I know they really want, and they really want their fob, and I can get there before at least 2 of them can. So I'm going to go to this fob, and I'm going to get the kills because I'm at an objective that they will need to be close to me, which you normally don't want to do with the Gladiator. I also I know that I can't fight all 3 of these guys at once, so I stay in this kind of weird position around the fob so that I'm only engaging 1 or 2 of them at a time. And I'm gonna do this weird little maneuver here where I duck down around the destroyer because I just don't want to face all 3 of them at once. I want to just fight 2 of them at once. And I'm banging them up a little bit, but if you look farther down our lane is coming the Sentinel. He's just going to charge in again because that seems to be his MO. And once he gets here, then it will actually be an even fight. So I'm at the important objective. I've been placed so that they need to stick around me while I'm in place, which they normally would just run. And now I can really lay down a bunch of firepower, and I have support, so it's an even fight. And the reason we're able to get away with this is because the other lane is holding really well, so that the enemy can't pull out of the other lane and reinforce this lane. And you can see that super lifter is just stuck by me while I'm in place, and so is this overseer. And so now the overseer's best job is just to get out of here, because now it's a fight the other way. And he puts his boost on very well and kind of dodges around. And I can't, there's no way I can get him, so I'm not even going to try. This destroyer is very far above me, so I'm not going to be able to get him while I'm in place, so I unemplace to get a better position on him so that I can start laying firepower down on him. If he just turned and fired at me and I didn't have a healer, he could probably win, but now it's 3 on 1 at this point, so I'm in a good position to destroy this destroyer. place just to kill him. And I'll probably unplace almost as soon as he's dead and he just melts. It's like 2 folks jumped in on me, and just looking at the timer, it's at 1:30 before Gamma, so I'm going to get the heck out of there. And I'm going to do a quick jump to Gamma, and then a longer jump home once I'm out of there. And that was good because a death ball was just coming out of that Aegis there, and that would have killed me. So my goal at this point is to go home, to heal up, upgrade, and get back to Gamma. We're also doing very well on the maps right now, and it's always good to remind your team that they need to go to Gamma, because even though it's really important to me as the Gladiator that I'm there, I can't do anything by myself. I can't chase ships down. The Gladiator by itself is not a whole lot of good. It's just a good anchor for a team to build and work around. So no one's here yet. Looks like our Sentinel's running away. There's a chance he might get away, but not looking good. He doesn't make it. Okay, so even though we have a level advantage, it's going to be a tough Gamma for us. My goal is to try and stay inside that cap mod as much as possible and see who I can find that's out of position. That destroyer is actually pretty out of position. He's not diving for cover, he's kind of hanging out there. So I'm gonna in place and see if I can just melt him, because my Paragon has anti-heal suppressed drones, and if he throws the heal suppressed drones on that destroyer, I should definitely melt him. And there you go. He's losing a lot of life real fast. There's the heal suppressed drones. Perfect. So he's gonna die. He just needs to get to cover really fast. He doesn't do it. So I ate the heavy, and now I'm gonna look around and see if there's anyone else that I can get while maintaining this in place. That Aegis is too far. Alright, so the Overseer's coming on, so I'm gonna unemplace because I'm not doing any good up there anymore. So I can wheel around and try and push this Overseer away so I can protect my healer. And the Overseer, he jets off, so I did my job there. I punished that Overseer for trying to get to our healer. But then our Sentinel just dives across there, which is too bad because we are capping Gamma. Well, we were capping Gamma, but after he died, we're not. So at this point, it's pretty close, but we're slowly losing Gamma. So we gotta wait for someone to come back on respawn, or we gotta hit them. And there's not much I can do about that death bubble. The destroyer's coming in. I'm about half health. I might be able to get him to find a place, but even that's going to be pretty tight. So this is probably a mistake. I probably shouldn't have been placed to try to fight him. I probably should have just tried to hide. But it's pretty close, but not enough. So that was probably a mistake for me there. I probably should have taken my own advice and known that it was okay to be afraid and just hid behind the structure while the healer heals me. But I didn't, and I'm dead. Now my team doesn't have any real DPS at this point between a healer, a Sentinel, and a Paragon. There's not a whole lot they can do. So when you're on respawn like this, it's good to take a look at the map and then compare that to Gamma and decide whether you want to go in lane or go to Gamma. So we have Mind Supremacy, which is good, and there are 5 of them that all have Gamma. So I don't want to go into Gamma because I will get melted when I come back. But I want to go to the lane where I think they're most likely to go. That's probably Alpha, because we have 3 mines in that lane, so they're probably most likely to go there. So I want to make sure that I'm there at an objective that I know they're going to want so that I can ward them off. So I jump in. And I jumped in a little farther back because I don't know how many of them are going to jump in this lane. I want to make sure that I don't just YOLO in and get myself killed. Looks like maybe off in the distance there's one ship. So I can probably handle one ship. It's the Overseer. I can handle him, so I'm going to just see if I can pepper him and weaken him a little bit while backup comes into my lane. Not going to be super aggressive with him. Oh, and he's kind of hiding. So I'm going to see if I can go over and recap that mine. He jumps out. Okay, so I'm going to advance. There's an interceptor on my left. This interceptor has had a pretty good use of cover on me throughout this game, and he takes cover again there. So probably not going to be able to kill him, but maybe I can just kind of hold him back from our fob a little bit. And oh, looks like our sentinels came in behind me, and he just YOLOs in again. So I'm going to see if I can jump out and jump right back in on the other side, because that's probably faster in terms of getting a better angle on the interceptor. So I'm going to try that. Hopefully our sentinel does not get himself killed in that amount of time. So this is trying to use my jump speed to compensate for the fact that I'm a really slow heavy, because all ships jump at the same speed, and so I can get the jump points just as fast as the fastest raider in the game. And our sentinel's eating it pretty bad, but we have a healer in the lane, so hopefully our healer can keep him going a little bit. So I'm slowly advancing at a kind of a skew like this, so I'm ready to fire at anyone who tries to chase our sentinel. And I'm taking a pretty minimum amount of damage. We have mines in this sector, and so we're just wearing down their gamma right now. And I'm kind of backing off. I'm rotating my armor. I'm not in a prolonged fight. Just playing defense here. No need to be really aggressive with them. Just need to kind of wear them down. So you notice I'm slowly making my way towards the mid-mine, because it looks like we could probably actually hold the mid-mine here, which would be good. There's that destroyer again. Usually once you eat a destroyer one or two times in a Gladiator, they start being a little more cautious around you, and you can see that with this destroyer's behavior. He's not just diving in, he's not just staying out of cover, because once you die a couple times to a Gladiator, you'll remember that for a match. So I'm just giving him a little bit of a pecking here. He's almost actually in eating range. He's pretty close, but he's got some good cover there on that big asteroid. Oh, it looks like I'm just trying to emplace, which is a little preemptive there. He's a little far, but we'll see how much we can get him knocked down. Oh, my healer's leaving though, so I don't want to push this now. We have a minute and 40 before Gamma 3. My healer's leaving. Looks like we got their healer, but then our sentinel died, so we traded 1 for 1, but that's a good trade to have them lose their healer. And I'm not going to chase him because I'm not chasing ship, and it'd be 2-on-1 at this point. And I don't think I'll win that. So I'm going to go hide behind this mine here and see if I can get ready for Gamma 3, because it's really important that I be a Gamma 3. And I'm doing the long jump out here. I'm going to do attack upgrades because I know that the enemy team is probably going to save me for last, so I can spew out more damage while I'm alive. I jump to the left jump point, and I'm at a slight angle, so I'm going directly into the gamma bubble as soon as I jump out. I have my bombers ready, and you notice I don't actually go in the gamma bubble yet, because once you touch the gamma bubble, the enemy team can see that you're in gamma. So if you're really super early, sometimes you wait outside the bubble so the enemy team doesn't know that you're there. But I see they have someone in there, so I'm going to start laying mines so they're on refresh. I'm going to give this guy some firepower now, see if I can wear him down a little bit, and just slowly dole out some mines here. Put my bombers on the super lifter so they can act as a screen for missiles on him. And they went low, so I'm going to see if I can get them down there. I really can't. So I'll go back up, and there's a death ball, which I may be able to just get out of. That destroyer is pretty... I don't know if I can get him. Alright, so I'm just at this point, I'm just trying to punish anyone that's outside of cover. We should have a level advantage here, so we just gotta stay alive and stay in cap zones. I'm gonna try and guard our healer here. It looks like he's getting some flak from that overseer. And that overseer looks like he's popping back up. So just gonna keep guard here. Our Pioneer's a little exposed up top. If he dies, then we're gonna have some trouble. He died. So at this point, we're not gonna cap Gamma slowly anymore just by ourselves. We're gonna need to actually kill one of them. And this destroyer is, looks like he got his fearlessness back. He's just going for us all the way over onto our side, but the z-axis is really off. It's up high, so I'm gonna try to get a better angle on him. And I am in place, and I actually leave the gamma bubble for a second. Do not ever do this. This is a mistake that I left the gamma bubble, but it gives me the angle on him so I can kill him. Yeah, I think we're gonna get him because he's way out of cover. And so in place, I can get him. And once I get him, I should run right back into the gamma bubble as soon as possible. Unemplace, get back in there, because I need to be capping. And I am, and hopefully I can make it before they cap it. I do. So it slows down, and I fire some missiles off of the super lifter that looks like they still had some bombers on back against the screen, so a lot of them get through and he dies, which is great. And now we are affirmatively capping. So all we have to do is just maintain at this point and we'll win this fight. So that interceptor is chasing my healer. Our healer just died. So now the gamma's going to swing the other way. So I'm going to see if I can punish this interceptor for leaving cover like that. See how awkward it is to chase in a Gladiator. You strafe towards them like this. And it's just a really horrible way to chase a ship. But he's just so low, I keep going for him. And I don't need to be on our side of Gamma to protect our healer anymore because our healer is dead. So it's okay for me to leave our side and be a little more aggressive like this. And at this point, I haven't fired my missiles because I want to wait till I get a good arc for them to circle around like that. And our Sentinel got him, which is fantastic. Way to go, Sentinel. Alright, so now we've got an Aegis here. I try to emplace to get him, but he does the right thing and goes for cover. So now that he's in cover, I'm not doing any good being in place, so I'm going to unemplace. It stinks because I wasted it, but it's better than just staying there, not doing anything. So we're affirmatively capping. I'm going to try to get in the cap bubble now because we can win this gamma just by raw capping power at this point. All we have to do is have everyone stay alive and we should win. I'm not going to even go for their healer. I don't think I can get him. Better to just finish capping gamma. And so you notice this has been a really long gamma. I think I've emplaced and unemplaced twice in this gamma. I think it ends up being a 10-minute fight total almost. So I actually do get some nice shots off on the super lifter here. But I'm trying to stay inside the cap bubble for that extra cap strength so we win. And we do win. And at this point, a lot of them are alive still. We have one guy in respawn, so I'm going to go make sure I open a gate here so that we can have reinforcements come when we need them. And I'm laying some mines there so that if anyone tries to close this gate later, they have a nice little surprise waiting for them. I cap so fast that I can start jumping before I even cap it, just to get on in there and start capping the enemy base. Alright, so at this point, there's a lot of them in the enemy base. Our healer is there. He's a gutsy healer. My job now is just to try to protect that healer. We're going to need to knock out at least one of them or get the Paragon in here with the cap bubble to start capping. Okay, so the Paragon's here, so there's no need to kill one of them. We just need to play defense now. So I'm going to try and ward off that interceptor that was poking his head down below, and you can see my frame rates just eat it during this fight. Kind of amazing I hit anything. So our Pioneer got himself killed, but we're still slowly capping. We managed to destroy the destroyer with heal suppressed drones, just raw firepower. Gonna try the scepter now, but really at this point, again, we don't need to kill them, we just need to maintain. So my job is just to guard our healer so we can keep everyone alive. We lost our Sentinel, which is instincts, but we're still capping. So just probably the three of us in this cap mod are going to try and win it right now. And that overseer is really far away, so I'm not going to keep firing at him. I'm going to try to maintain situational awareness, and as soon as I pull back, you see this interceptor's coming through. So we're going to punish him for trying to go after my healer. Good Gladiator, make sure that their healer is protected as much as possible. And our healer's really good at running too, so it gives me an opportunity to do this. And we win, just through sheer capping power. So I hope that was helpful in terms of understanding some of the concepts of the game. Please leave a comment, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.